Do you think, Femi, that against the backdrop of these things happening too frequently, according to some observers, that there are lessons to be learned now? Because I remember when we've had the unfortunate duty of having to speak with you on some of these catastrophes, it's always been that people are ignoring, orders from the government. When they put out a notice, stop work, we've always heard from you that, well, people go back, they sneak back in the middle of the night, that kind of a thing. Are there lessons that can now be learned? Because it does appear that the people are not going to, be as responsible as they should be, including developers. And by the way, I hear, looking at newspapers, that the developer, is he under arrest, or are they looking to arrest him?
Well, firstly, safety of life and property should be everyone's business, including developers, including the people living in that environment. As a government, the government, under the watch of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, has carried out a lot of stakeholders meeting with all the key stakeholders, all the developers. We have put on the building code why they need to abide with the rules and regulations. There should not be cutting corners in building properties. They should use right materials. We have local engineers in all our local governments. We have local engineers in all LCDAs. And if the government don't open up, if the government seal a place up, you should be responsible. You should be responsible in as much that our government is doing everything humanly possible to ensure safety of life and properties, putting a lot of resources in building capacities of emergency responders, spending billions in procurement of sophisticated equipment, building capacity of the personnel, working 24 hours to maintain the golden hours. I will expect the good people of Lagos State to abide with the rules and regulations. And that is the lacuna, that is the gap here. And that's why we keep on having building collapse in Lagos State. With guidance sensitization, our people are on the ground. We have different agencies performing their roles and responsibilities. So, and you can see at this O'Neill case study, lesson learned, the upper of that territory raised alarm that was raised more than 48 hours. And the government apparatus, regulatory body, did the needful. Despite all this, we still have collapsed building.
Indeed.
So you can see the lacuna in the orientation and attitude of our people. Perhaps using substandard, constructing in such a manner that the building will eventually collapse. They need to take in cognizance the water level, the peculiarity of Lagos State in terms of landmass, in terms of location, in terms of water level, in terms of climate change. The climatic factor must be put in place while building your houses.
Indeed.
The way you build house in Lagos will be different the way you'll be building house in Ekiti.
I hear you, Femi. I hear you, Femi. But, well, I shouldn't really say but. I say, in addition to what you're saying, it does seem that Lagos State government lacks the means to enforce emergency directives. And so when you leave it to the responsibility of the people, those directives have been issued to, and they fail, then all of us suffer. All of society suffers. So it probably is, a fact. I don't know, you might want to contest that government seems to lack the means to enforce emergency directives that the flouting of which could lead to a loss of lives. And then we come here and we talk about how irresponsible people are. When government says This has to stop. We didn't say that because we're joking. We didn't say that because we don't like the faces of those who are involved. We're saying that because a human life, potentially, which would be too much, could be lost here, not to talk of 2 or 3. So would you agree that government simply lacks the resources with which to enforce emergency directives?
Well, again, the physical planning, the building controlling agency are in proper position to answer that question.
I think I understand.
But however,
yes,
as a disaster manager,
yes,
I will look at it holistically. Now, and the case study that I will use is this recent one. Now, look at what happened at Oniru. The king gave early warning. The people closed, the government apparatus closed the door, sealed the place up.
I hear that.
You get what I'm trying to say?
I do, so because you said that before. Sorry,
yes,
sorry, Femi.
Emphasizing it. That I want us to look at it holistically.
Okay.
They have enforced. They have enforced in there. Now, don't forget that our government is a civilian government. It's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And the type of enforcement we will do is the type of enforcement that we have human beings that will carry everybody along.
Such as preventing workers, from entering the site.
Such as preventing workers from
entering the site.
Look at it, for example. We locked the place up. The place was locked up. We use a padlock, government padlock, to lock the place up. We use government tools to mark the place. The king of Oniru ensured that his team, his boys, were on the ground to warn people off from that place. So, but still look, we still find people jumping the fence, sleeping in that building, despite the adequate warning, despite the adequate enforcement.
Okay, so Femi, I would like to ask then, so what lessons, Femi, can we learn from this going forward?
Enforcement, you see, enforcement must have human face. We should not be reckless about enforcement. We should not start beating people up.
No.
We should not
Nobody's
start
suggesting
creating chaos.
Nobody's suggesting that.
Enforcement should have, now listen, enforcement should have human face, and that is what the government is doing.
But this has led to 3 people being dead now.
Look at the genesis. Look at the pathogenesis.
Sorry, sir.
We carried out stakeholders meeting. The government carried out stakeholders meeting.
Okay.
Then, look, moving forward. Moving forward.
What lessons do you think we can take moving forward?
You see, moving forward too has to be based on what we are doing. What we will just keep on appealing to the good people of Lagos State. We will carry out aggressive sensitization again. We will carry out aggressive trying to create a sort of enlightenment. But we will continue to appeal to good people of Lagos State to abide with the rules and regulations.
Okay.
We have carried out stakeholders meeting. We have provided machinery. We have provided traded tools. All the building controlling agency will build their capacity. We have the government of the day bought vehicles for them, employ personnel at the fire services level, at the safety commission, at the building controlling agency, at the physical planning. So now the gap which all of us must come together is we must change our attitude. We must change our orientation to achieve good results.
I agree with you, Femi. I agree.
If we keep on having this orientation,
but you and I know,
shift the blame
you and I know that attitudes can be enduring. You and I know, Femi, that attitudes can be enduring is the frustrating part of all of this. There you are, there I am, there is everybody expecting that everybody will do the right thing. And unfortunately, time after time after time, people go ahead and don't do the right thing. And so we find ourselves in this kind of a situation, which I dare say the resources would have been much, much, much less to prevent access to the site than now this cleanup operation. But it is what it is, as you've said, Femi. Maybe, look, government can only do, I suppose, what it can. One sort of understands that. But it just, as I was saying, the lessons that we can take moving forward, I don't know. You've said about twice that there are specialized agencies that can comment on some of the questions that I'm asking. And maybe this is one of them. It is reported that that place originally was for a 3-story affair. It was a 3-story building, but then we're talking about a 7-story structure that has collapsed. That's another sort of a point. Look, unless there are not people walking around inspecting the approvals that are being given, and maybe somebody will know that this was an approval for a 3-story affair, how come it's gone to the 4th? So even before it gets to the 5th, people would have intervened. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too simplistic about it. How do you see it, Femi?
Well, my feeling is that the physical planning and the building controlling agency will be able to answer that question properly. But however, look at, I'm a medical doctor. I will look at a situation that the government gave you approval of 3, and you are educated, enlightened, you are part of the society. The government has done the needful and said that, oh, that land, that kind of land can only allow 3 levels. Why are you reckless? Why are you reckless moving the building to level 4, level 5, level 7? You need the government of the day to be doing everything for you. When the government has set up the rules, why can't you abide with the rules and regulation? It's discipline here.
Okay.
Is that people should stop cutting corner.
I hear you.
And realize that this government is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, which means if you look at all the levels of governance, what is constant is the people. So the people factor must be put in place.
Okay.
And if you look at the disaster itself, it is man-made. The factor there is the people. So our people must change their orientation. Our people must change their attitude.
Can government also change something? Femi, I beg your pardon. Can that people changing their attitude? I hear that. Is there room for government to also change its attitude, seeing as this
now, government has done a lot of things.
I know, but you know,
now,
the attitude of waiting for it to happen and then we talk about it like this. My government moving a bit more decisively.
Government has improved. Now, Mr. Yori, government has improved the way we got our sea of coal. Government have improved the way we obtain monitoring and evaluations of buildings.
Okay.
We have engineers at the local level. We have engineers at the CD levels. We have engineers at zoning levels. Governments have built the capacity of the monitoring and evaluations of all these agencies by giving them vehicles to move about, providing fueling for them, employing personnel to go about. Government has created safety commission. Government have created LASEMA. Government have empowered physical planning. Government has done a lot.
Okay. I beg your pardon. One moment. Forgive me for interrupting you, Dr. Oke-Osanyintolu. One moment, please. A viewer has called in. Let me take his input. Abuja. Somebody's in Abuja. Ola in Abuja. Good morning to you.
Hello?
Hello, Ola in Abuja. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Hola. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay. Carry on, please.
Hello? Okay, hello?
Carry on, please. Carry on.
Okay, sir. For a very long time, I think I have to give you kudos for the way you have handled this program this morning. Honestly, I've been very, very critical about sometimes the way you handle your program. But this morning, I just have to give you the kudos. Now, I lived a major part of my life in Lagos, before coming to Abuja. Yes, so I know most of the things that actually transpired there. The issue is this. the Lagos State government over the years have not been able to stand on their authority and ensure that people comply with basic rules and regulations. And that is down to maybe a high level of corruption or ineptitude on the part of the authority. Now, you just spoke about a situation that, look, that this building we're talking about was supposed to be a 3-story building. What was the Lagos State government looking at when it was erected from 3-story building to a 7-story building? What were they doing? Do you understand? We cannot be losing lives, year in, year out like this, and people seem to be very, very helpless. The Lagos State government has to, live up to its billing as a government and ensure that people comply. People have to comply and ensure that, look, we don't lose lives. So, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ola. Okay, Dr. Oke-Osanyintolu, you heard that, and well, might he comment like that, because as you know more than most people, Lagos is the city, the center of excellence. It does things excellent. It prides itself on that. It prides itself on its foremost position.